Developed by the German psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, developed the psychosexual stages of development based on the idea of libido, also known as sexual energy. Freud divided the psychosexual stages of development into 5 stages: oral, anal, phallic, latent, and genital. For each stage, Sigmund Freud believed that depending on a child's experience throughout his or her childhood, their experiences would influence the actions and outlook of the child when the child grows up. Also known as fixation, if a child does not successfully progress through a stage, then he or she will have constant issues in adulthood, depending on each stage. Ultimately, the fixation would result in anxiety, persisting into adulthood and shaping the child's personality and habits.
Push, push, crowning, push. Oh, push. Got it.
The anal stage occurs around 18 months to 3 years after the child is born. As Freud specifically pointed out, potty training, in which a child is exposed to restrictions on when and where he or she can defecate, forms the future relationship between the child and authority. The anal stage leads a person to either be anally retentive or anally expulsive. Anal retention is characterized with paying attention to meticulous details, resulting in obsession. Anal expulsion is characterized with recklessness and carelessness. Freud theorized that a person would become anally retentive if he or she was trained strictly by his or her parents during potty training. On the other hand, a person would become anally expulsive if the child was allowed to freely defecate whenever he or she pleased. In conclusion, the strictness of the parents during potty training would potentially create an obsessive adult or a rebellious and careless one.
Oh. Oh. Oh my. Woo. There's no toilet paper.
The phallic stage begins when you're 3 and goes until you're 6 years old. During it, the superego develops, which is the part of your mind that's like your self-conscious. It reflects what you've learned from your peers and those older from you, like parents and stuff like that. The Oedipus complex and the Electra complex both occur during this stage. The Oedipus is for boys, Electra is for girls, love of the opposite gender parent, and jealousy of the other one. Oedipal is the general term for both of those together. And at this stage, you become aware of the physical differences between the genders.
Jesus.
In the fourth stage, known as the latency stage, which begins around the age of 5, the libido becomes dormant for a period of time. Sigmund Freud believed that most sexual impulses would be repressed until puberty. Freud believed that this sexual energy would be sublimated as a defense mechanism onto other aspects of life. The development of the ego and superego contribute to this period of inactivity. The stage begins around the time the children enter school and become more concerned with pure relationships, hobbies, and other interests. Freud believed that the fixation during this stage can lead to immaturity and difficulty forming strong relationships as an adult.
The genital stage begins when you hit puberty and it goes throughout your life into adulthood. During it, there's an interest in heterosexual relationships outside the family, so not your parents anymore. And you begin to sexually experiment. You also want to settle down for a one-on-one relationship with your husband or wife. And fixations from previous stages could lead to different fetishes or pleasures during the stage. For example, a fixation in the oral stage means you'll be more inclined to get more pleasure from kissing or oral sex.
Bro, it's almost prom. You gotta ask her out.
No, dude, she's probably gonna say no.
Your money. You're gonna be fine.
You sure, man?
I'm positive.
Think I got it?
You definitely do. Go get it, Tiger.
Appreciate it. Hey, Jennifer. What are you doing?
One.
Wait, where are you going? Hey, Jennifer. I need to tell you something.
What?
I love you.
What?
Do you want to go out with me?
Hell no.
Hey, man.
Hey, you go up there?
Yeah.
Did you ask her out?
Yeah.
You got it?
No, she said no.
Oh,
But I did it.
I guess.